a dramatic 10-inning, 8-6 win for the Sox in Game 1. Cleveland won last night as well, so the Sox lead in the American League Central sits at 9.5 games. And we are set for Game 2 from Wrigley Field. A lot of Sox fans here this weekend as the Sox and Cubs play the Wintrust Crosstown Series. Great to have you with us here on NBC Sports Chicago. Steve Stone and Len Kasper. It's humid today, and we hope to dodge the rain. Brian Goodwin actually entered yesterday's game as a pinch runner, but it was his bat that won it.
Sometimes the little deals you make are the deals that make your team really good, and with Brian Goodwin, that's exactly what happened. Both Hamilton and Goodwin got released. Then in spring training, they decided, you know what, they could be meaningful pieces. Meaningful is an understatement. 42 games, 7 home runs, 21 driven in. Outstanding. The slugging percentage is there. All the home runs have come against right-handers, which is not surprising. His first walk-off home run ever, August 1st, and yesterday was just a dramatic home run. Didn't exactly win the ball game, but it came close to doing it, and he's really contributing wherever Tony La Russa decides to put him.
The Cesar Hernandez acquisition was very important because the White Sox needed an everyday second baseman, but I think he's over-delivered here in the first week.
Well, there's no doubt. Look, he came over with the Gold Glove from last year. He came over with 18 home runs and a reputation of being a better right-hand hitter than a left-hand hitter as far as power is concerned. So yesterday, David Ross turns him around to hit from the right side by bringing in a left-hander, and you see what happens. His first home run in a White Sox uniform. We're going to see a few more, but he's steady at second base. He gives you a veteran presence. He has very good at-bats, and as an addition to this team, it's exactly what the White Sox needed to help put them over the top.
When we come back, we will talk starting pitching. The Sox have an all-star on the mound. He's a lefty. You might know who he is. We'll tell you about him next.
White Sox baseball on NBC Sports Chicago is brought to you in part by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Choose Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, the card to carry through it all. The 2021 Ford F-150. It's tougher and smarter than ever before with the tools you need for on-site capability. Check one out at your local Ford dealer today. Xfinity Mobile. Get nationwide 5G on the fastest, most reliable network. Only with Xfinity Mobile. And by Wintrust, home of White Sox checking. Visit wintrust.com/Sox to open today. The city of shoulders with tall, bold sluggers cascading vividly over the city that works. No mistaking the sights, sounds, and the flavor that means Chicago to everyone. That's what time and tradition will do. Provide something that identifies a place with just a glance or a taste. This weekend is the proximity that brings the hostility, scorn and despise, tension within the city limits, final scores for fans that will honor them or haunt them. There is no in-between. They're divided by allegiances, but they are brought together by a game, by common disdain, and by a grudging respect. No other regular season games are like this. No other series leaves such a permanent mark. These 6 games will resonate all year. White Sox, Cubs, it's here.
Time to talk some pitching. Dallas Keuchel, Lance Lynn, both very good the last 2 days. Carlos Rodon this afternoon pitching on some extra rest. He's been very good really everywhere he's pitched, but a 2.41 ERA on the road. And as we welcome you back inside the booth here, Steve, this feels like an important start for Carlos. Last time out, last 2 times actually, velocity down just a tad in the first inning.
Well, I think you're going to see a little bit more. He's had added rest, so I think he'll throw a bit harder than he had the last couple times out. But it's important for him to get back on track because at his best, we know he's one of the best in baseball. Take a look at his rankings in the American League. ERA, he's second. Strikeouts per 9 innings, first, along with opponent's batting average. Opponent on base percentage, second in that. Opponent slugging, he's third, and the whip is number 1. This is a guy who tried to make it in spring training. He had to battle for the 5th starting spot. He's come out now roaring, and we need his best effort here this afternoon.
It'll be a right-hander, Adbert Alzolay, for the Cubs. When we come back, Our guys in the studio, Chuck, Ozzie, Frank, will talk about this crosstown rivalry. Stay tuned for that.
Insane!
There it is. Deep to right. It will go. Ball game over. Abreu in the air. This ball's gonna go. Driven to left. It's deep. It is gone. Brian Goodwin with a two-run homer. Our plays of the week brought to you by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Audi dealers. Big crowd on hand here at the corner of Clark and Addison. White Sox an 8-6 winner in 10 yesterday. It'll be right-hander Adbert Alzolay for the Cubs. And Tony La Russa very happy to squeak a win out after the Cubs tied it late. And as we said earlier, he's managed a lot of games like that here in this ballpark. Now the Sox Insure on the Spot starting lineup. Get your free auto insurance quote. Save in just 2 minutes at insureonthespot.com. Hernandez moves up from 8 to 2. And you see their career interleague home runs. Eloy is in left. Moncada will bat fifth today. Goodwin is in the lineup in right. Leuri, Collins, and the pitcher Rodon rounding it out.
Adbert Alzolay on for his 20th start. 4-11 record. At times he's thrown better than that. ERA of 4.85, as you can see. A lot of strikeouts, averaging 9 strikeouts per 9 innings. That's good. Left-handers have really hurt him. That's what he's going to feature today. He really likes the slider. 41% of the time to go with the sinker, at about 30% of the time, the four-seam fastball, about 17% of the time. But he does give up a lot of home runs. He's given up 23 of them, and the wind is howling out toward left field. It's really going to benefit the right-hand hitters and the left-handers who can go the opposite way. So are UI Health defense, and this is how David Ross puts them out there with Wisdom, Ortega, and Happ in the outfield left to right, and Duffy. Romine, who hit his first home run since 2017 yesterday, along with Bodie and Schwindel. Wilson Contreras has the plate. You have to watch for his arm because it's a strong one. And Alzolay on the hill.
Temperature 85%. Humidity's missing a 1. It's 168% today. And the wind out of the south.
But it's good because it's a wet heat.
Very much so. The first inning is brought to you by Toyota. This crowd is into it. And here we go. Alzolay to Anderson. And a called strike on a fastball right down the middle. You mentioned Alzolay's slider. That is a relatively new pitch. He used to be predominantly curveball in terms of his secondary pitch off the fastball. But he discovered that harder breaker in the middle of last year down at the Cubs alternate site, and the White Sox got a heavy dose of it in that series at Guaranteed Rate Field. He struck out 8 in 5 innings. And when it's good, it can be a game changer. 1-2 on Tim.
Well, he's got kind of a cutter slider hybrid. At times he can make it break short. Other times it's got a bigger break. When he does have a bigger break, he gets some depth with it.
Swing and a miss on that very pitch. Enough for the Jimmy John's Freaky Fresh Take. Good start, and it's been a struggle the last 10 times out for Alzolay.
Well, usually if you get it done against Alzolay, the left-handers are going to do it. And you see the disparity between the first 9 and the last 10.
Hernandez with a ground ball through that seam, and it's going to be an infield hit. Perfectly placed. Duffy couldn't get it. Romine had a long run over there and had no play to make.
Hernandez continues to put the bat on the ball, and when he does, good things happen. Because of the defense, there was nobody home at shortstop, and he's aboard.
Now Jose batting third, playing first.
Secret for our right-hand hitters is hit the fastball before you get set up for that put-away slider. So taking fastballs is not really a good thing. This is going to be a sinker, and let's see if he can get a piece of it.
Taken for a strike. 2 for 5, scored twice in the series opener. Just getting started. Hernandez with a 1-out hit. And that ball out into deep left center, but it's going to stay in. It's caught by Ortega. Just didn't get it on the sweet spot of the bat.
As you can see, the splits this year against right-handers, batting average 184. Left-handers have tuned him up to the tune of 284. Slugging percentage vastly different to home runs, of course. So he has yet to find a weapon to consistently get out left-handers. He's a young pitcher. They really like him. They think that he's going to fit in the middle of their starting rotation as they move on down the road. But he's got to find a way to combat the left-handers if he's going to get the kind of success that his arm and his work ethic would dictate.
Eloy 1 for 3. That hit was a double on Friday. Hernandez at first, 2 outs. Starts him with a slider. It's a strike. Sox now all time are over a break-even mark here at Wrigley Field, 33 and 32, dating back to 1997. A chop toward third. Tough play, Duffy. And it'll be another infield knock. That's 2 of them here in the first inning.
Eloy says safe all the way, no problem. It wasn't really all that close at first, but Duffy has got to play back. Eloy has big power, so playing back, it's a do or die pick up and throw in the same motion, and Eloy is running better this year than we've seen him. He lost some weight. He sniffs out a base hit here, and he beats the play rather easily at first base.
Now Moncada, who snapped an 0 for 22 with a 10th inning single yesterday. Maybe this will be a good matchup for him from the left side.
I would think if Yuan was going to break out of it, it would be against Alzolay.
Two on, 2 out. Swing and a miss. Well, he went after that first pitch heater that you mentioned.
No, I mean, look, it's going up there being aggressive. That pitch was right down the middle, but Yuan just swung through it. They do have a semi shift on him. Romine is playing up the middle. He's still on the third base side of second, however.
Duffy way off the line. That ball hit really well. On the move, Ortega. It's going to be over his head. Sox are going to get a couple. Moncada's going to stop at second with a double. It's 2-0.
That's one of the reasons Tony elevated Moncada into the 5 spot. He gets a fastball down. It's out over the plate. Hits it off the wall, almost out of the park. It produces a pair.
That Sox double is brought to you by Elgin Hyundai, home of the double warranty. 20 years, 200,000 miles on every new Hyundai. See ElginHyundai.com for details. It might not have mattered, but Ortega kind of got caught in between. He couldn't make the catch, and he was so close to the wall. That ball caromed quite a ways away from him. And Yoan was thinking 3, but I think with 2 outs he made the right choice.
There's no doubt. You don't want to get taken down at third base, and you can still score from second easily. 48 now driven in by Yoan.
The 0-1 on Goodwin. A slider misses inside.
And look, one of the keys for the Sox success the last couple months of the season and into the playoffs, hopefully, is that Yoan Moncada starts to hit the ball like he did a couple of years back. He is essential to this lineup. He has played a good, solid defensive third, even through all the offensive struggles. But they can really use his bat.
We talked about the struggles versus lefties so far. We're only in the first. Lefties are 2 for 2 against Alzolay. Here's a 1-1 up and in on Goodwin. And talking with Tony before the game, he was well aware of those splits, and that's why he has gotten a bunch of lefties and switch hitters in the lineup. No Vaughn, no Engel, no Zavala in the lineup today. Popped him up. Duffy with the sunglasses on will make the catch in fair territory. Eloy Jimenez a little gassed, but that's a good sign after rounding the bases. 2-0 Sox with the Cubs coming up. Sox with a couple in the first. Time now for the Cubs. Insure on the spot starting 9. Get your free auto insurance quote. Save in just 2 minutes at insureonthespot.com. Ortega followed by Contreras, Bodie, and Wisdom. Those 3 were not in the lineup yesterday. They did get in late. Schwindel at first, Duffy at third, then Happ, Romine, who tied it with the dramatic homer late, and the pitcher Alzolay.
Carlos Rodon on for his 19th start. He's getting a little extra time between starts these days, which is a good thing. His ERA of 2.5, 149 strikeouts and 104 2/3 innings. That's pretty impressive, and he's going to lean on that high 4-seamer. Throws that 57.5% of the time. The slider to back it up, 27.4. The occasional changeup and curveball not so much. So our UI Health defense, and this is how Tony La Russa puts them out there this afternoon. It's Eloy, Leary, and Bryan in the outfield, left to right with Yoan, Tim, Cesar, and Jose in the infield. Zach Collins has got the plate. Carlos Rodon on the hill.
Collins caught his no-hitter back in April. Ball 1 on a fastball at 95.
Yeah, I like the fact that the first pitch out of the chute is 95. That shows the arm is feeling pretty good.
Might be more important than the location, right? Fouled away on 96. Ortega is hot. He's hit an 8 straight.
Another key will be to watch the first slider he throws, because if it's biting, then that arm is feeling real good, and it appears on 95 and 96 on the first 2 pitches that he's feeling it today.
A little birdie told me Carlos very, very motivated for this one today. Always fun when it's Sox Cubs. And he has lost his past 2 starts, trying to turn it around today. Backed him away on 97. 2-2.
Let's see if he decides to bring out the slider one time. There it is.
And here it comes, and he struck him out looking. Like that strike 3 call by Field and Culbreth.
This is a high slider, a lot of break on it, and Fielden rings him up. Bad part of the zone, a good part of the zone.
If I were a home plate umpire, that's how I would do it on strike 3.
Would you drop to a knee, point to the side, and then ring him up, or what would you do?
Was that Dutch Renner? No, who did that?
Frank Drebin was one of the guys that did it.
Was one,
and Dutch Renner was another one
similar,
of the guys.
Yeah. Now Contreras, the catcher. 150th strikeout for Rodon. Only Garrett Cole and Robbie Ray have struck out more batters among American League pitchers. Oh, 0-2.
Take a look at the strikeouts for 9 innings. Carlos right at the top. Select company with Garrett Cole, but how about Dylan Cease? Makes the list. Lance Lynn and Giolito. So most of the starting rotation strikes out a lot of guys.
That ball clubbed foul. Everybody all right over there near the home dugout. So Carlos pitching on 8 days of rest.
A good time for a high fastball up and out of the strike zone here. We'll look at what Zach Collins wants.
Good try.
Tried to buzz him upstairs with the fastball and just got it a touch inside.
The lefty coming back on a 1-2. Boy, that could have been 2-2.
Didn't miss by much.
The thing I like about his velocity early is it looks to be smooth and easy. It's not as if he is coming undone mechanically to try to throw 98. It's just coming out of the hand really nicely. There's the back foot slider, 3-2. David Bodie on deck. 2-0 Sox here in the first. Fouled back. That was power against power. Look, you can get people out at 90-91, but you got a little more margin for error. 95-98.
There's no doubt. The harder velocity you have, the more you'll get away with pitches in areas you don't want to throw them. What's a fastball in?
He got him. Didn't quite hit his location, but top of the zone, 99 will play.
Yep. He hasn't been close to throwing 99 in the first inning the last couple of starts, so he's feeling pretty good. And credit, number one, his work ethic, and also credit the 8 days between starts, because with only 42, 43 innings pitched the last 2 years, he doesn't have the strength that he would normally have with a full season under his belt. That's one of the reasons why they're laying off him a little bit. And when his stuff is good, he's just about as unhittable as anybody in baseball.
Bodie playing second base today. Strike one, and he takes a stern look at Mr. Culbreth.
Well, I would say he might have a complaint here. He was up and out of the zone.
Throw that one again.
Want to test the upper limits of the zone, see exactly where it goes.
With a change that time. Bodie with a pinch hit sac fly yesterday. Nice day. It's hot. It's very humid. Sun not a factor at the moment. Wind blowing out toward left. Swing and a miss. How about that first inning for Carlos Rodon? He got Ortega looking on the high slider. Then it was Contreras swinging. And David Bodie couldn't get it. 2-0 after one. The second inning is brought to you by Menards. Garcia, Collins, and Rodon. Leury playing center. He's become that super utility guy again after the acquisition of Cesar Hernandez, and a soft liner's caught. Leap and a grab by Romine.
Time now for the Xfinity Mobile high-speed action. It's a first inning. You get a couple of infield hits. That pretty much sets the table. Eloy beating out a chopper to the left side. So 2 on, 2 out, and Juan Moncada takes one off the wall, drives in a pair. That's the margin at this point. Good way to start it off.
Now Collins, his main job's to catch a good game, but you know he'd like to contribute at the plate. He's 2 out of his last 30. Ball 1.
Fine play at shortstop by Romine.
Big pull shift against the lefty, and he fouls on the screen. And it's 1-1. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2.
That was a pretty decent change. That's not something that he leans on, but it's something he'll probably have to throw more to left-hand hitters. In fact, he's going to throw it again.
Missed away. Rodon is on deck. I have no idea how it will go for Carlos today, but he had a great few rounds of BP the other day at home, getting ready for this start. Still 2-2 on Collins.
I think he's one of the guys that looks forward to actually swinging the bat.
He does. He looks very athletic and natural. Although, and I hate to say this because Jerry Naren's a really good batting practice pitcher, but he doesn't quite have the speed and movement of Adbert Alzolay, with all due respect.
Yeah, that's probably true. But he was just trying to get his rhythm.
That's right.
Get his stroke grooved to when it really counted.
Full count on Collins. Here it is. Got him looking on a slider. The big story presented by Mattress Firm. All time dates back to '97. This is regular season matchup. Sox beat the Cubs in the 1906 World Series. So those stats not included, but it's all pretty close. Here's Rodon, 2 out of 11 as a major league batter. 0 for 1 this season. Yeah, he uses an axe bat. That funky handle.
Carlos is telling Fielding Cumberland, I didn't swing at that. But Ryan O'Nora thought he did.
Stays alive.
A little tardy on the swing, but he made some contact.
And he's late on a slider. It's 2-0 early. Sox with a lead.
challenge, I accomplish anything. Right hook, yeah, I'm just throwing punches, standing tall, never ducking. I'ma always fight for something. I'm a heavy hitter. I'm a heavy hitter. I break down every door. You're gonna hear
2-0 White Sox. Carlos Rodon back to work here in the second inning. There's the average velocity on his four-seam fastball his last three starts, 97 today.
Yeah, you can tell he's feeling pretty good. He looked right out of the chute like he had a very lively fastball, and he parlayed that into 3 strikeouts.
So he leads the way in punch outs on the fastball slider combo. And he'll face Patrick Wisdom to lead off the bottom of the second.
Wisdom has burst on the scene and really made his mark in this lineup.
Leads National League rookies with 16 home runs. And finally has gotten a chance at some extended playing time in the big leagues and has taken full advantage. He was the NL Rookie of the Month in June, and he pops this one foul and out of play.
Looks like another huge crowd here today. I mean, there's people everywhere.
Swing and a miss. 1-2.
A lot of late life on the fastball today, unlike the last couple of times out. That one just darted away from Wisdom, and he had no contact. And here comes a slider. Let's see what he can bury down and in.
Darted away from Wisdom, to follow up on your comment yesterday, right? We've been doing that our whole life.
That's exactly right.
2-2. No shift on the infield. Middle guy's actually on the outfield grass as they set up. And he swings and misses on a slider. 4 batters, 4 strikeouts for Rodon.
Can't really start any better than this. Buried slider, nice stop by Zach Collins, and Wisdom is the 4th of 4 so far.
Our player profile presented by Geico. Make it easy. That's up to date. Clayton Kershaw is out on the injured list currently. Cracked bat, fly ball, base hit. Frank Schwindel.
He went down and got this one. This was down and out of the strike zone. Very happy about that particular piece of hitting as he dumps it into center field. He did the exact same thing yesterday in the 8th inning. Same kind of hit. It looked like a replay.
So for Schwindel, he struck out his first 3 times up against Lance Lynn yesterday. Since then, single, 2-run homer, and another base hit. Little low to Duffy. A lot of times when you get that extra high strike that Field and Culbreth called in the first inning, you won't get the borderline call at the knees. Good knockdown by Collins.
So far, Carlos does not have the feel for the straight change at all.
19th start. Trying to beat the Cubs for the first time. 5th time he's faced them, the 4th time as a starter. Duffy fouls upstairs. Rodon, really one of the best stories in baseball this year. Coming back from arm trouble, elbow, shoulder, non-tendered, swing and a miss, 2-2, and he's an all-star for the first time. And he will get Cy Young consideration.
We've got some starts left, maybe 10. He's going to be right in the thick of that race. Lance Lynn is going to be right there. I mean, long way to go yet. You can't concede to anybody, but you got 2 guys 2/3 of the way through that are knocking at the door of that award.
I wonder if at some point the inning requirement to qualify for an ERA title might be lowered. It's currently an inning per team game, so by the end of the year you have to get to 162 innings to qualify, and that ends up knocking a lot of guys out of contention because of the low inning totals for starters. 3-2.
Well, that could very well happen because quite obviously it's a different era of baseball where complete games aren't important. Guys are going 5, they're going 6. Sometimes they're going 5 by design so they can get a little more rest heading into their next start. So in 162, that's a full season. There's no doubt about that.
There are currently, this is all of Major League Baseball, 55 qualifying pitchers. Shallow right. Circling is Hernandez. He's got it. 2 down. Your 2021 Chicago White Sox are presented by Guaranteed Rate. For everything you need to turn your dream of a new home into reality, visit rate.com. If you believe, you will. Now, I'm not very good at math, but there are 30 major league teams. There are 55 qualified pitchers, so that's less than 2 per team. It's not a lot.
It's not a lot, and they're protecting guys more and more these days as far as limiting their innings.
Foul strike on Ian Happ. The major league leader in innings currently is Zach Wheeler of the Phillies, 147. Chris Bassett, Walker Buehler, Adam Wainwright also in the top 5 at 39 years old.
He won a ball game yesterday.
Fastball is high. If Carlos had enough innings to qualify, he would be in the top 10 in the majors in earned run average. Outside for a ball. Lance Lynn is the major league leader right now, and he has qualified. His earned run average 2.04. He was really good yesterday.
You mentioned Wainwright. He pitched St. Louis by Kansas City to run his record to 10-6 with an ERA about 3.5. That's as many double-digit win seasons as Bob Gibson.
Wow.
When you're mentioned in any category with Bob Gibson, you're doing a real good job of it.
Typically, when they retire a number in St. Louis, it's a Hall of Famer. Wainwright might fall a little shy of that, but I could see number 50 being retired at some point. He's been an all-time Cardinal for sure, along with Yadier Molina. He got him on a slider. 5 punch-outs early for Carlos. 2-0 Sox. Yesterday on White Sox baseball.
And I like the idea of turning Hernandez around to the right side because that is his power side.
Lefty home. Fly ball well hit. Gone! What'd you say about power?
That's his side. For me, that's not a real good pitching change for David Ross.
Cesar Hernandez with his first homer with the Sox. Ground ball, diving pick by Schwindel, and he'll get it to Alzolay as he beats Tim to the bag. 1 down here in the 3rd.
Schwindel almost can't get it out of his glove. He thought at first maybe he can race to the bag. Then he realized he couldn't. Keeps this out of right field. It's stuck in the glove, and then he kind of shot puts it out. Nice job by Alzolay getting to the bag easily before Tim gets there.
Here is Hernandez, and he bunts, and it's going to go foul.
I love the fact that he shows bunt every now and then, and he does it really from both sides of the plate, but he does it because by showing bunt, all the advanced scouts see that you'll do it, and they have to play you in at the corners. Especially with him from the left side, especially the third baseman. He is way in.
0-2. So you got Duffy to charge. We'll see if Duffy's going to stay in or play way back with 2 strikes. Right now he's going to play deep. I have a question for you after the pitch. Now, you wouldn't suggest doing it a lot, but the 2-strike bunt for a hit. Do you like the strategy every now and again for this reason? Again, if he gets it fair, it's a hit. Now, we know what the risk is. Kind of a jam shot fly to right, and it'll be caught. And maybe in particular, when you have maybe a left-left matchup, and you're not feeling very comfortable against that pitcher, would that be something you might try on occasion?
There was one guy that I saw consistently do that. That was Raj Carew. He'd get to 2 strikes against a left-hander, and he would just lay a bunt down. And invariably, number 1, he would get it down, and 2, he would beat it out. But he had supreme bat control. He could do it. He practiced it, and it worked pretty well for him. Most of the guys just can't bunt that well these days. So I think it would be a tough task to ask. Certainly I wouldn't do it righty-lefty hitter, but lefty-lefty, no doubt about it.
And invariably the guy bunts foul, and you say, well, what in the world is he doing? And you're thinking, well, he probably is going to strike out anyway. Now, you don't want to think that as a hitter, but when you have a really tough matchup, sometimes that might be your best chance. Two outs, nobody on. The 1-1 to Jose. Fouled to the screen. It's 1-2. I think we can agree that whatever black and white rules that have existed in baseball, there's always a little room to move. You would never hear about elevated changeups and breaking balls, but now guys do it on purpose. You always heard keep the ball down. Well, now it's keep the ball up.
Well, you don't want to keep the ball down with a 4-seam fastball. You want to keep the ball down if you throw sinkers, a 2-seamer.
On the ground to the shortstop, Romine. And we head to the bottom of the 3rd. Sox 2, Cubs nothing. All right, some news and notes on this Saturday, August 7th. Brett Gardner with the game-ending hit as the Yankees beat the Mariners last night. And the Brewers with a Rowdy Tellez 10th inning walk-off. Starling Marte for Oakland over Texas. And Nelson Cruz with Tampa Bay coming from behind to beat Baltimore. Fouled back by a switch hitter Romine, and the A's got some bad news yesterday. Their center fielder Ramon Laureano, an 80-game PED suspension.
Yeah, he keeps on saying that he did not do it consciously, that he has too much respect for the game and for his body to do that, but in the meantime it wound up in the sample, and that gives him 80 games.
Yeah, and look, I think in some of these cases over the years, that excuse or that reaction is probably totally legit, but the way baseball's handled it doesn't matter.
No, if you have it, I mean,
if it's in there, it's in there.
If we find it, then you're going to be suspended.
Intent is not part of the punishment. One and two on Romine. Hit the big home run left-handed off Kimbrel yesterday. And he stays alive. Craig was trying to throw that pitch toward the outside, and it leaked back into a hitting area for Romine, and he was able to just get it out in right over the basket to tie the game. Swing and a miss, strike three. 8 batters faced, 6 strikeouts for Rodon.
His combination of back foot slider, four-seam fastball is absolutely deadly. I mean, that fastball looks very hittable upstairs, but it has late life to it. You go after it, you have really no chance. That's been a trademark of his throughout the season.
Alzolay tops one to first. Good job, Jose. He grabbed that right before it could kick foul.
Good heads-up play, because he knew there's a good chance if he laid back on it, this ball would go foul. You might as well, if they're giving you the out, you might as well go get it. Stays right on the line. Jose moves up a step to smother it and get the out.
Did you like how I combined Alzolay and Aloy? Alzolay. Okay.
Yeah, Alzolay's okay.
2 outs. Ortega will take his time after the pitcher made the second out.
Carlos has added a little something to his repertoire, and it revolves around that same slider. It's wonderful if it's a back foot slider, but his ability this year at times to be able to throw it in a different location has set up a whole lot of strikeouts, and we're going to show it to you. Ian Happ. Now, it might not have been by design, but he does throw it by design at times, and that's the slider that catches the outside corner, comes over the left-hand batter's box, and for a right-hand hitter, you give up on that pitch only to see it spin and shave off the corner. So it's a huge weapon.
It's never a strike until it gets to the plate. We often talk about strike to ball slider. That's a ball to strike. Well, Ortega kind of doing what we talked about. He's facing a very tough lefty. And he's down 1-2, and Moncada backs up at third.
Well, also in the back of his mind, he's remembering that called strike 3 on a slider the first time up in the first inning.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. 3 punch outs in the first, 2 in the second, 2 more in the third. He's got 7 already through 3, and it's 2-zip Sox.
What's up, Chicago? Coming to you from the Florida Keys with today's Sox math question. Now back to Len and Steve in the booth.
All right, thank you at CGH8675309. All right, Sox math today. Take the lowest jersey number retired by the Cubs, divide by the number of home runs he hit for the White Sox. think, well, I know the first part of this answer, I think. Swinging strike on Jimenez. Infield hit and a run in the first. This inning is sponsored by Elk Grove Village, proud to support makers and dreamers. Learn more at makerswanted.org. And we're not in the business of giving hints to the Sox math answer, but I will say this. The lowest retired jersey number for the Chicago Cubs is a double digit, which is interesting. They have never retired a single digit. Bounding ball to Bodie.
Fellow Sox insider Vinny Duber at NBCSportsChicago.com, presented by nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. Get to enjoy knowing the Vuk as much as you do the jingle at JeffVuk.com. And as a finale,
Nationwide is on your side.
There you go.
Hopefully I got the hang of it after a week. Jason will be back with you Monday.
Monday against the Twins.
Sox Twins final series between those two clubs. And it's a very strange schedule in that all of the Sox Twins games this year played between mid-May and mid-August. Yoan with the big hit, the two-run double in the first, a one-hopper right to Bodie. 2 down. Here comes Brian Goodwin. Time for the Indeed player resume. '34th overall in the 2011 draft out of Miami-Dade College. Great baseball school. Bounced around a little bit, and his next home run will be his 50th, and today career game number 400.
I used to work out with University of Miami baseball team, and Skip Bertman, who later found fame at LSU, was the pitching coach at that point, but our spring training was down there for the Orioles, and I'd come early and work out with the team. It was fun. Nice facilities they had.
Sure, they've only gotten way better these days.
I don't doubt that for a minute.
All those schools down there, Florida International, Florida Atlantic, obviously Florida State.
That was a very good idea. The execution wasn't there, but if he does get it in the field of play, he could have walked to first base.
What year is this? Everybody's trying to bunt. Kind of refreshing. Bodie's going to get a chance to make all 3 plays, and Schwindel able to keep his toe on the bag. Still 2-0 Sox in the 4th. We have a Sox math winner. Babs at Tron XX. Number 10, Ron Santo, hit 5 home runs for the White Sox at the end of his big league career. Ronnie posthumously was inducted into the Hall of Fame. And what a guy. And among Cub fans, a lot of Cub fans, he's known more as a broadcaster than as a player, even though he was one of the best in franchise history. And Stoney, we could tell a million Ron Santos stories. He was a trip.
Yeah, I traveled a lot with him, and he was a character. He was beloved by his fandom. He was an outstanding defensive third baseman, one of the state-of-the-art guys of his time. He played with a wonderful Cubs team. They just could never quite get over the top.
Anyone who ever shook hands with Ron Santo knew how strong a man he was.
Played on a team with Billy Williams and Ernie Banks and Fergie Jenkins and Kenny Holtzman, Glenn Beckert, Don Kessinger. I mean, they were a wonderful baseball team.
2-1 on Contreras. One hit for the home team. That was a broken bat bleeder by Schwindel in the second.
He's a guy you worry about in Contreras because he can hit the ball a long way. He's one of these guys that is liable to hit even good pitching well.
Three and two.
Well, that's when you're looking fastball. You get the fastball, but it's not where you can handle it. You swing anyway.
And we'll do it again.
Carlos Rodon today, for the second time in the history of this rivalry, fanned at least 7 in 3 innings. The only other guy that did it was Carlos Rodon when he fanned 8 through 3 innings on July 25th of 2017. So he kind of enjoys pitching against the Cubs in this particular rivalry.
He's got 8. 99 in the zone.
Well, you could tell very early in this one that Carlos was going out with a little heat in the bag. I mean, it was right down the middle. Pretty much he said, here it is. See what you can do. And he just overpowered him. Contreras can't believe it because he measured it perfectly. Looked like it was right in the sweet spot of the bat. And then that little late life just got it by him.
Bodie struck out in the first. Collins down to a knee. Yasmani Grandal again out early, doing some drills on the field as he is on the comeback trail after the knee surgery. Jimmy Lambert made a spot start last weekend. Pulled to left, and Eloy will have to go get it in the corner. And Bodie has a 1-out double.
It looked like a changeup, and he was able to go out and get it. It's the one pitch today that Carlos doesn't have a real good feel for. That one didn't have the sink that normally his changeup would, and Bodie was able to rifle it into the corner.
So last Sunday, it was Lambert and company. He went 3. Lopez went 3. Then Bummer, Kimbrel, Hendricks, a 2-1 win over Cleveland. That coupled with Monday's off day gave a bunch of guys in this rotation an extra breather. And as a result, Carlos has come out today with some of his best stuff of the year. Swinging strike on Wisdom. 0-2. That's the other thing about 98, 99 instead of 83, 84. That slider was 88. So it just lifts all of his pitches in terms of the velocity.
Well, also because you have to look for a guy's fastest pitch and adjust on down. You have a hard time hitting the good sliders if you have to respect 99 miles an hour.
He got him on a slider for his 9th strikeout.
Well, I got to believe this is a first look by Wisdom at Carlos. And if you haven't seen that slider, I mean, it profiles as a strike. And then just as you go to get it, it just disappears. So you're looking fastball all the way. You get the bat head out and the ball's not there. It's one of the reasons why he's been as effective this year as he's been.
Schwindel with that bloop single in the second. He's 3 for his last 3 in this series. Garcia will make the catch. Couple of more Ks for the lefty. He's fanned Contreras twice. Same for Wisdom. 2-0 after 4. Let's get caught up. Presented by Bob Lacurcio Auto Group. First inning, Yoan Moncada bangs one off the ivy, knocking in 2, giving Carlos Rodon an early advantage. And he hasn't needed much support. He has 9 strikeouts through 4 innings. He struck out the side in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth. Against no walks, has been pretty dominating. And here is Garcia to lead off the 5th. The 5th inning is brought to you by GMC. We are professional grade. Chris Kamka tells us this isn't even the most strikeouts for Rodon through 4 innings against the Cubs. 11 through 4 is his personal mark against this team. That was July 25th of 2017.
Well, that was a good one.
And he actually only went 4 on that afternoon. That ball driven into the left field corner. It's twisting, and it is going to be a fair ball for Leori, and he will have a double.
Really no chance for Wisdom as this ball was slicing away, and only the long dimensions down the line kept this in the park, because in a whole lot of parks in the major leagues this is a home run. But these are the farthest dimensions down the line, I believe, in the major leagues.
That is correct, and that Sox double is brought to you by Elgin Hyundai, home of the double warranty. 20 years, 200,000 miles on every new Hyundai. See ElginHyundai.com for details.
This is a big one to cash in. Alzolay had been thrown very well since the first inning. That was the first hit since the first inning, since Moncada's doubled.
We've got the 8-hitter at the plate, Collins, with Rodon on deck, and Carlos right now chatting with his manager before he goes into the on-deck circle.
Zach has been giving up on those backdoor sliders, and Alzolay is hitting with them.
Inside on a change. Alzolay from San Felix, Venezuela. His grandfather got him into the game of baseball when Adbert was 6. He likes to take notes. He writes in a journal between innings. It's basically here's what happened in every at bat. 1-2.
It was a double clutch by Field and Culbreth. He started to go up, and then the pitch was there, no doubt about that.
He's ready. Here's the 1-2. Good take on a slider. It's 2-2.
Leary's getting a very good lead off his second base. He's got to be very careful of the pickoff.
Adam Engel stole third twice yesterday.
That was a two carom, and then one guy that was walking down the aisle grabbed it barehanded. It's quite a play in the stands.
Yeah, he's got a box of food that was intact.
Hit off two different people and caromed right to him.
Math a little different here. Typically you're thinking just get him over to third, but Zach would like to drive Garcia in. Pitcher on deck, you can never really count on Rodon getting that guy in from third, although he looked pretty comfortable up there the first time. Right now he's just hanging on the ledge.
Talk him off the ledge, Len.
Enjoying a baseball game from a pretty good seat.
He still has a while to go yet. Well, that time it was pretty good that Alzolay did not check back at second, because Romine was in back of Leary, and they got him dead to rights if they used a pickoff fly.
Yeah, Romine vacated his spot. He was standing right at the bag.
And that's why pitchers have to pay. They got to pay a lot of attention, because you never want to throw a pitch when an infielder is pulled out of position.
Another 2-2. Inside, it's full. A walk would not be a terrible thing. And would put Carlos in a bunting spot. Here's that play we were talking about.
I mean, if he makes the throw, he's dead to rights. But he didn't see him, which turns out to be a very good thing.
Full count on Collins. Runner at second, nobody out. And he struck him out. Join us on Tuesday, August 17th. It is 90s night, presented by Cordec, as the White Sox host the Athletics at 7:10 p.m. Cordec, your next day service metal deck supply company. To purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/promos.
Well, whatever was told to Carlos on the bench, he went back and got a different bat. So maybe this is his hitting bat as opposed to his bunting bat.
Fouls a slider.
Got a piece of Field and Culbreth behind the plate, and there was no show of bunt at all.
It's a very different game in the National League. You could have a Collins, Zavala if he were in the lineup. Danny Mendick was here. He batted ninth quite a bit. Position player as opposed to a pitcher. As Alzolay fakes towards second. So some National League pitchers who probably don't want the DH, it's not because they like hitting, it's because they like facing the other team's pitcher. 0-2.
Carlos is laughing. He's looking at Contreras going, "You're using a changeup on me?" I hit once, twice, 3 times a year. That's it? You're throwing changeups?
Good contact, but it's going to be caught by Wisdom.
Hey, White Sox fans, Xfinity Mobile delivers fast nationwide 5G on the most reliable network. So break free from the big three and save with Xfinity Mobile. Well, now Leary can get as much of a lead as he wants because nobody is going to pay attention to him.
If you polled every starting pitcher in both leagues, yay or nay on the DH, would they say no chance or yes, universal DH? What's your guess?
I think the hitting, the guys who can hit, the pitchers who can hit, probably want to hit not because they're going to be better than a regular hitter, but because of what you said. They get to face the other pitcher, which more times than not all the time, but more times than not, it's a bit of a breather in the lineup, especially when you pair the 8 hitter with him. The other guys go with the DH.
Yeah, like to do their day job, not have to worry about the other stuff.
And there's another factor. We've seen a lot of pitchers hurt this year in situations where they were swinging the bat, they were running the bases, they were doing things that pitchers have always done, but for some reason, coming off a 60-game season, it manifested itself more this year than ever. And Flaherty from St. Louis is the greatest example of that. I don't think you want to lose your number one to a lengthy IL stint because he was swinging the bat a little too hard one day.
Yes, an oblique for Flaherty. That's a big blow to the Cardinals.
And when you get one of those, it doesn't matter who you are. It takes a while to come back from it. By a while, sometimes 6 months. I mean 6 weeks, sometimes 2 months.
1-1 to Tim. Trying to get Garcia to the plate here with 2 outs. Leori with a leadoff double, but he is still at second with 2 gone.
Well, he would have been able to steal that time. He took a running start, but checked up. Maybe not wanting to distract Tim. I mean, literally, DJ Rayburn is the closest to Leuri, and nobody else is in the neighborhood. Did you tell Alzolay when you were here that time of possession is not a statistic?
I did not.
You might want to mention that if you ever run into him again somewhere.
You know, it's interesting. He worked pretty fast when he got here. I think used to that pitch clock down in the minors, but most guys are slow around the league. In fact, I seem to recall they slowed him down a little bit. He actually was working too quickly, maybe kind of coming undone with his mechanics. And to look at that card, which you see pitchers do 2 or 3 times a game with a runner at second.
Now he has to look at it a second time because he put it away and had to look at it again.
Tim held. Ryan Blakeney down at first, 3-2. You make the call.
This is what Blakeney saw, and might have been a break there for Tim and the boys.
Full count, 2 down. Runner at second. Here's the pitch. Ground ball past the mound. Bodie gets him. They cannot cash in that lead double. 2-0 in the 5th. Eloy is so fun, isn't he? So photogenic. Never misses a beat in terms of where the camera is. All right, Carlos Rodon has 9 strikeouts through his first 4 innings. We don't want to get too carried away, but the Sox single game record is 16. Jack Harshman back in 54. Pitch count okay, 60 through 4. And ball 1 to Duffy. Straight up on the infield. Middle guy is pretty deep against the righty. And he looks at a strike. The biggest thing is the ratio, right? It's not just 9 strikeouts. He hasn't walked anybody, and that keeps that pitch count in good shape.
Well, by and large this year his control has been exceptional. Appeal to Ryan Blakeney, and he says nope, did not go.
Two-1 on the way is hit foul off to the right.
I think that's one of the things that Ethan Katz emphasized with Carlos Rodon was keep your motion as simple as possible so it becomes repeatable. Because once you have success, you want to be able to replicate that exact motion for both your slider and your fastball and your change. And then it comes to tunneling, where every pitch looks the same coming out of your hand. But to do that, you have to repeat the motion. And Carlos's motion is simple.
Guys are swinging fairly early in the count both ways now, and there's a reason for that. The batters in this game are combined 0 for 20 with 13 strikeouts once they get to 2 strikes.
Both pitchers have been very impressive. I mean, for a young pitcher, Alzolay looks like he's got a bright future.
Full count on Duffy. Ian Happ, the switch hitter, is on deck. Only a couple of other games underway. They're in the bottom of the 7th in New York. Yankees lead the Mariners 5-4. Boston's at Toronto, top 3. No runs. There's the first walk. Time now for a preview of what's to come on White Sox Post Game Live, presented by Subaru. Chuck, Ozzie Prank, take it away. Thanks, guys. Day game today, but we were fresh, ready to go.
But leadoff walks. We're always concerned about leadoff walks.
Happ takes high on a heater. Kick and the 1-0. It's right in there for a strike. Tigers and Indians later this evening. Lefty Tyler Alexander and right-hander Eli Morgan, the pitching matchup.
Yankees were down in that game 4-1 to Seattle. They've come roaring back to take the lead.
We'll see the Yankees starting Thursday night in Iowa. Backed him away, 2-1.
Yankees are a vastly different baseball team right now with the 2 left-handers, Rizzo and Gallo, added to that already pretty good lineup. This becomes a very big pitch for Carlos. He would love to get a ground ball. I mean, strikeouts are nice. You'd love to get a ground ball into a double play. But he's got to hit with this pitch.
Three and one. Happ will walk about 13% of the time. That's very good. Strikes out a bunch too. Take that high one. Got a break. 3-2.
Well, Carlos is not getting the low strike, but he sure is getting the high strike. And there is a big break. This is out of the zone.
Swing and a miss. He got him on 98. And because he got that call, he forced Happ to go after it.
Check out the White Sox Talk podcast presented by Wintrust for the Liam Hendriks interview you didn't know you needed. Find out why he might go missing during the Field of Dreams game. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Listen to his fun conversation with our Chuck Garfien today.
Liam was really good yesterday. One of his better performances of the year. He got the win. He recorded 4 outs. Strike on Romine.
Let's assume that Carlos gets out of this inning. No Cubs run across the plate. You look back to that one pitch to Happ that turned the inning around.
Low toss to check on Duffy. Ten strikeouts for Rodon. 2 in every inning except this one. And a chance for at least one more with only 1 out. 1-2. Romine now 35. Made his big league debut when he was 24. That was with the Angels, 2010. Manager was Mike Scioscia. The pitcher's on deck. 1-2 on the 8-hitter.
It's been a pretty labor-intensive inning for Carlos, regardless of what happens from here on out. That's number 78 on the way.
Duffy's got a big lead, and there he goes. Fouled back.
And Carlos has got to pay a little attention to him because he just crept away. The lead got bigger, and it showed you his intention. That's a very good jump, and there's no way in the world Zach Collins would have gotten him.
He struck him out. He's got 11.
Another biting slider. And Romine down on strikes. You know, none of these Cubs face Carlos very much because obviously you might get a look at him in spring training. Maybe. You might not. You don't get many looks at him during the season. And if you don't see the kind of stuff that he's thrown this year, it's really hard to make contact.
And ironically, this is a guy who hasn't struck out. Schwindel, Duffy, and Alzolay, the only three in this lineup without a strikeout against Rodon today. And it's 2-0 on the pitcher.
Yeah, this wouldn't be the man you want to walk. Head of one of their hottest hitters, and although Ortega has fanned twice, he's in the middle of very much of a hot streak.
Alzolay career 1 for 33 without an extra base hit. Two and one. Little breeze out toward left. Yesterday it was blowing right out toward the center field scoreboard. Tapped. Carlos has it. Little jump. One bounce throw to Abreu. How about that?
That's a tremendous play. A very inventive play by Carlos, and it's out of the inning.
I always tell you, throw it low, not high. You can play that hop. Carlos Rodon shutting them down, shutting them out on 11 strikeouts through 5 innings. It is 2-0 White Sox after 5.
Time now for the momentum changer presented by First Midwest Bank. Well, it's a lot of strikeouts. I mean, a lot of them. Got 11 through 5. And it's been with an assortment of just about everything. Mostly high fastballs, low sliders. And he's been mystifying the Cubs through a little over half the ball game.
83 pitches, 54 for strikes. Alzolay 67 pitches, 50 strikes. So these two starters have been around the plate all afternoon. And the 6th inning is brought to you by Mike's Hard Lemonade Seltzer. So glad you're with us on this beautiful Saturday afternoon here in Chicago. Put your socks and sneakers to the test. Join us at Guaranteed Rate Field for the Run Your Socks Off 5K presented by Guaranteed Rate. Saturday, September 18th. Racers will cross the finish line on field, followed by a post-race party presented by Michelob Ultra on the concourse. A portion of the proceeds will benefit White Sox charities and the Guaranteed Rate Foundation. Learn more at whitesox.com/run.
In this inning, Cubs pitching coach and manager, they're going to learn a lot about Alzolay. They like him, certainly. I think he's going to be pretty good. But this is the third time through the order. It's a very warm day, and you're going through the tough part of the order.
2, 3, 4. Hernandez takes a sinker low. It's Tommy Hotovy on the right, the pitching coach, former major leaguer. As I like to say, he was left-handed, and he still is.
David Ross, in his second year of managing, he's really got everything you would need to be a very good major league manager.
My favorite David Ross note as a player, he finished his career as a backup catcher with 5 consecutive 2-year contracts. That tells you how highly thought of he was as a catcher. They wanted him to be the backup, but he kept getting major league deals, and that doesn't happen that often.
No, and you know, it's interesting because people will ask on occasion, why in the world do catchers become managers more frequently than other position players? And there's a lot of different reasons for that.
Hernandez strikes out on a foul tip.
So one of the reasons is that you have the whole game in front of you if you're the catcher. And you're able to see shifting. You're able to see the way guys go after the ball. You're able to see a whole lot of different things. Then you have to know every one of your pitchers and their tendencies, what they like to do, what they don't like to do, what they're capable of, and what they're not capable of. Then number 3, you have to be able to hit yourself because, I mean, that's part of your game. As an offensive player, you have to put all the defense away. And so it's an all-encompassing position, and ideally you'd like one of your leaders to be the catcher. And I think Kansas City has that in Salvi Perez. Not a lot of teams do. But if it's not the catcher, then it has to be the shortstop because he's involved in everything. And of course, Tim Anderson is one of the leaders of the Sox team. Those are the 2 positions where managers and management will look for leadership among the players.
Abreu hooks it foul to left. Yeah, Yachty in St. Louis would be another one of those guys.
Yeah, he's a terrific leader, and Tony La Russa managing him, that he did a whole lot to take the pressure off the manager as far as handling of the players.
Swing and a miss on the slider. 2 down. Thursday, the Sox battle the Yanks. It's a once-in-a-lifetime event at the Field of Dreams. Let's get you ready for this special night on Tuesday. Here's Chuck Garfien.
Tuesday, the iconic setting of a classic film will be getting some South Side flavor. Ozzie Guillen joins me live from Dyersville, Iowa for a special Field of Dreams edition of White Sox Big Game Live, Tuesday on NBC Sports Chicago.
Sox haven't done a whole lot since that first inning. Jimenez in the air, deep right, and it's going to be dropped and kicked by Happ. Eloy at second base. See how they score it. I'm guessing double. He did have a long run to get there, and he just couldn't haul it in. It is a double to keep the inning alive.
Time now for the T-Mobile coverage cam. Eloy gets a hold of a high fastball. Again, because of the depth of the lines here, it's not out of the park. Happ, after a long run, goes out, tries to make the play. And it's one of those he probably should have made, but didn't. And Eloy will take the 2-base hit.
Moncada with the big 2-run double in the first. He'll bat with a runner at second, 2 outs here in the 6th.
One's hit the ball hard twice. I would think Alzolay would be very careful with him.
Slider missed outside.
In fact, with first base open, if you're on the mound, you're not going to want to walk him intentionally. What you are going to want to do is try to get him out of the strike zone. Invite him to expand his zone, and if he doesn't, again, you have first base open.
Apparently, Yon did not get the Evite text to expand the zone, so he hasn't done it.
Not yet, no.
Hasn't looked at his phone. Change up in the middle, 2-1. Michael Kopech playing catch in the White Sox bullpen. Kick and the 2-1, swing and a miss. Back-to-back changeups to get Alzolay back in the at-bat.
That ball dipped out of the zone. Good changeup, but not a strike.
Another changeup beats him. Still 2-0 Sox midway in the 6th.
Today's game is brought to you by Marquette Bank. Since 1945, Marquette Bank has worked to improve the lives of neighbors, families, and business owners. They're a modern neighborhood bank with online banking, mobile banking, and digital home financing. Better than that, they're a bank that cares about your success and our communities. Discover neighborhood banking that feels good at emarquettebank.com.
That's Steve Stone. I'm Len Kasper. Great to have you with us today. Sox have a 2-0 lead. Cubs bat here in the home 6th. Third time through for Rodon. Try to curve, and he just couldn't get back to the corner on Ortega, who has struck out twice. Two and 0. Eleven strikeouts through 5.
Michael Kopech warming. You wonder how patient Tony will be with Carlos. 86 pitches. Still throwing it well.
3-1. Don't know how available the back end of the bullpen is. As I mentioned earlier, Hendricks got 4 outs. Kimbrel struggled, but they both had pretty quiet weeks leading up to this series.
I would think they'd both be available.
William was out early playing catch again, as he always does.
That one right off Zach Collins' mask. Field and Culbreth is going to give him some time. Professional courtesy. Catchers will do that with umpires also.
I believe that is the special mask Asmani Grandal is involved with. It's really supposed to give you more support against concussions. Just outside, he walked him. Bring your family of 4 to a White Sox game starting at $59 with a family 4-pack. You'll get 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 drinks, and 4 chips to select games. For tickets, visit whitesox.com/4packs.
Well, look, with 5 right-handers due up next, figured it would be kind of a short leash for Carlos today. They don't want to extend him too much. He had some stress in the 4th and the 5th inning. Tony comes out. He realizes that a healthy Rodon heading into the postseason is the best way. Nice standing ovation for a guy that's had a remarkable year. For the Miller Lite moment. Carlos Rodon was just exceptional today, limiting the Cubs to just 2 hits, fanning 11, walking 2, and he leaves with Ortega on first base, nobody out here in the 6th inning. Time now for a Lakeside Bank call to the pin. Lakeside Bank, it's about time, and Michael Kopech comes on. Got to protect a 2-0 lead. He inherits a base runner on for the 27th time. ERA of 2.66. 61 Ks, 18 walks in 44 innings, and he's got the heart of the order due up.
This is the 2nd time this year he has worked on back-to-back days. Contreras takes a slider that was just low. Again, that low strike hard to buy today, as Field and Culbreth seems to be giving the high strike.
Yeah, you can get the borderline upstairs pitch. You're just not going to get the borderline downstairs pitch.
That's a strike. Rodon today, double-digit strikeouts for the 5th time this year. And Chris Kampka noting 3 times the Sox pitcher has struck out 10 or more Cubs in this ballpark. Carlos has done it twice. Chris Sale back in 15 as well. 2-1.
Contreras is one of the power guys you worry about in this lineup, because each and every swing of his has bad intentions.
That'll get upstairs. 2-2 on Contreras. And a nice note from Hawk Harrelson tuning in today. Great to see him at the ballpark the other night, throwing out the first pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him on that high fastball.
The trifecta for Contreras. High heat has been the key. 98 upstairs with a little life, and he throws it by him.
Bodie with 1 out, a strikeout and a double so far today. Left-hander Adam Morgan up in the Cubs bullpen. Double play combo of Anderson and Hernandez. They've been getting used to one another's rhythms over the last week or so.
Two pretty good inside defenders.
Kopech on a 1-1. Chop to third. Moncada will glove it in foul territory, and it is a foul ball. Long way to go, but he's got a shot at his 9th win. 5+, 2 hits. Ortega, the runner at first. Kopech on a 1-2. Runner takes off. That ball bounced into left. Ortega on his way to third. It's a good read by Ortega. That ball was not hit that hard. And they're at the corners with 1 out.
David Ross putting his runner in motion. And through the vacated left side, Bodie hits a 2-hopper. That leadoff walk once again is really difficult to defend against. Eloy does it right. He gets it into second base to keep the double play in order.
Rodon will finish with no runs or 1 run allowed. Ortega is on his ledger third. Slider strike on Wisdom. Best chance for the Cubs today. At the corners with 1 out. Leury shading toward right center a tad and not very deep. Popped him up. It's the shortstop Anderson to make the grab. 2 down.
That was a hanging breaking ball, and what Wisdom is frustrated about is that one came up there spinning. He just got under it. That was a mistake. Michael got away with it, and the runners have to stay put.
So he'll face Schwindel in a 2-out spot. Swing and a miss. Nasty slider to start it. Dan Winkler has joined the lefty Morgan. Ortega was dancing around off third, and that forced Kopech to step off.
You've got 2 guys warming up at this time. You're going to use 1 if you score and 1 if you don't.
Ground ball to third. Moncada has it. Lots of time. And the stretch by Abreu to save his bacon. It's still 2-0 Sox as we head off to the 7th. Game 2 from Wrigley. Nice work by Jose on the stretch. Go back to Sunday. Bryant Goodwin with a no-doubter and a great bat flip to beat Cleveland. That was a game the White Sox really felt they had to get. And then a line shot homer in the 10th. In the Crosstown Series, his first game. Sox Cubs. See what he has up his sleeve today. He's 0 for 2. And Alzolay continues here in the 7th, which is brought to you by the Illinois Department of Transportation. Garcia and Collins to follow here in the Sox 7th. The pitch. A roller, and that's going to get through. Get ready for the first major league game in Iowa, where your Sox will take on the New York Yankees for the MLB Field of Dreams game. It is presented by Geico. Catch all the action Thursday, August 12th at 5 p.m. Central on Fox.
That ball split the defense despite the fact there were 3 on the right side. Couldn't have been placed any better. So a good way to start off the 7th.
Might see Tony make some things happen here. Garcia at the bat. A ground ball. And that will be only one. So Garcia able to beat it out.
Just able in the last stride to beat the play at first base. Schwindel does a nice job of being able to get the baseball and still keep his foot on the bag, but Leary beat it.
Brings up Collins. I'm assuming a pinch hitter next for Kopech. Don't know who that is just yet. Outside, ball 1.
Maybe the pinch hitter has to see exactly what happens, because if Zach gets a base hit here, then they're going to make a determination on who they want to bring in.
Well, Vaughn and Engel are both ready. Gavin Sheets, Jake Lamb. It's funny. All those guys together and they go, hey, Skip, we're ready. You need me. I'm here. Spikes are on. Batting gloves. Helmet. I'm good. So last thing you want to have happen is you're in the 7th, NL Park. Pitcher spot coming up, and you're just sitting there with no batting glove. Oh, wait, what? You want to be ready well in advance.
Well, now they actually shifted even more drastically. See Duffy at straightaway shortstop.
In the dirt on a changeup. Galbraith walks the ball back to Alzolay. What's going on here?
I think he wants maybe some baseballs. Is that what he's looking for? Oh, there's nobody in the on deck circle. And
Yep. Got to get a guy.
Sometimes if you can't make a decision of what hitter you want, you put a pitcher up there who's not involved in anything.
That's exactly it. So here comes Kopech. Just one of those things, and quite honestly, it's helpful for a team with a guy on base, because if Leary's trying to score, you want to have the on-deck hitter try to help him. Now it is Kopech. It's not a guy who's used to directing traffic, but there goes Garcia. And he is safe at second.
That one very much stolen on Alzolay. Leary got a very good jump. Despite a pretty good throw by Contreras, they couldn't get him.
We talk to managers, and a lot of times after either a big extra base hit, something crazy happens, or after what we just saw, delay, distractions, get the on deck hitter, next pitch, go.
Yeah, I mean, in this case, Alzolay is not the quickest pitcher to home plate. So what usually happens is Darryl Boston is sitting there, even though they have the times from the scouts. He's sitting there and he's figuring out just exactly how long it takes for Alzolay to deliver the baseball from a stretch position. And then you start to formulate, can I go on this guy with a good jump? The answer is yes.
Favorable count for Collins. There's no way Kopech's taking this at bat, by the way, but again, you need somebody on deck. And a fly ball well hit to right. Happ on the track. He's got just enough room. It'll move Garcia to third, but 2 outs.
The iconic setting of a classic film will be getting some Southside flavor. Join Ozzie Guillen and Chuck Garfien live from Dyersville, Iowa for a special Field of Dreams edition of White Sox Pregame Live. That's Tuesday at 6:30 on NBC Sports Chicago. And if you took a look at the flags before the pitch, completely different than it's been all day long. The flags absolutely were limp atop the poles. There was no aiding wind. Maybe earlier in the ball game, that's a home run, but not when Zach hit it. He got a lot of it, but not all of it.
Sheets came off the bench in the 10th RBI single for him. Guess he called his dad Larry to get his thoughts on pinch hitting. Not a bad resource.
Well, usually what most pinch hitters will tell you is go up there, look first ball, fastball, and let it go on the first pitch, thinking the pitcher is going to get ahead. But in this case, it's not going to be Alzolay. He's going to depart this game.
Guessing Morgan, that was the lefty up earlier. We'll see what Sheets or Tony La Russa decides to do, because he does have some other options on the bench. It is going to be actually the right-hander Dan Winkler coming on. 2-0 Sox in the 7th.
At Lakeside Bank, called to the pen is Dan Winkler, on for the 44th time, so he's been a busy man. A fine ERA of 2.63. You see right-handers, left-handers, they don't do much with them. So a challenge for Gavin Sheets, who comes on a pinch hit.
Sox have a runner at third. That's Garcia. 2 outs, 7th inning. Leading 2-0. Almost hit him on a cutter. That's a good weapon for a right-hander against a lefty bat. High, 2-0. Swing and a miss.
He was geared up for the fastball and swung at one inside off the plate.
Two and two. Winkler is an Illinois native. From Effingham, Illinois, and went to Parkland College and the University of Central Florida. Anderson on deck, 2-2 on the pinch hitter sheets. Here's a pitch, ground ball, and Winkler has it. And we will stretch here at Wrigley Field. Sox 2, Cubs nothing. Sox fans, catch the action from a private diamond suite this season. Host your closest friends and family with customizable food and beverage options. For more info, call or text 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com today. This is Aaron Bummer, the veteran left-hander. 2-0 the lead. Bummer got one out yesterday. He faced pinch hitter Patrick Wisdom, got him to fly to right to end the 7th. He starts with a clean slate here. And he'll get Duffy, Happ, and Romine. Strike to Duffy.
Aaron's been throwing it pretty well lately. He's got a 2-0 lead and bottom part of the order to face.
2 quick ones on Duffy. Here it comes. Fly ball to center. Garcia went in a step, now drifts back and squeezes for the first out. We'll bring up Ian Happ, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts against another lefty, Carlos Rodon.
In a key situation, would you rather face Happ from the right side or the left side?
Probably this way. Now, typically switch hitters are better average-wise from one side, usually the left, and they have more power right-handed. So that I guess it depends on what do you want to give up, a hit or a home run.
Well, in a one-run game, I'd rather give up a single than a home run if I had the choice.
So in his career, Happ has definitely been better and a lot more power left-handed than right-handed. He has slugged .381 in his career from this side. Now he has not hit for a high average from either side, but OPS of .817 left-handed, .684 right-handed. There you go.
Many more opportunities as you would expect left-handed. Basically almost the same kind of hitter, and because he hits much more left-handed, he feels probably more comfortable.
Hit hard. Tim's got it. Long throw, and he will not get him. It was close.
Well, that's the best effort that Tim could have made, and there's only thing he can do. It was really close at first base. You know they're going to take a look at it and see what happens. And he was indeed safe. Great effort by Tim.
I'll tell you what, Stoney, he had a little trouble getting a grip. Watch this.
Yeah, if he doesn't, if he gets it out of the glove initially, he's going to make the play. But that inability to pull it out cleanly enough allows him on base.
Romine 0 for 2. Bunts through a strike.
Right there. Just a little bit of a double clutch.
Fouled right at the plate. Romine in just his 7th game with the Cubs. And we'll do it again. For those wondering about Jason, he is he's back in town from his Olympic coverage, and he just texted us, get a W. So now we know our job here the next 3 innings. We'll do our best, Jason. And he will be back at the mic on Monday night with Steve as the Sox play in Minnesota. One other note about Carlos Rodon. He is now in line to make that start Thursday night in Iowa against the Yankees, and that's obviously a nice honor for a game that will be watched by most of the country as Bummer strikes out Romine, 2 down.
So here's a Romine scenario. You have 2 at-bats against Carlos Rodon with about the best slider around, and then you get a break. You get Aaron Bummer, who has as good a sinker as there is in the game and has added a slider that's also unhittable when he keeps it down, produces 3 strikeouts.
Trevor McGill up in the home bullpen, and Robinson Chirinos, the backup catcher, will hit for Winkler.
He's shown a little power this year. Only had 31 at bats. He's hit 3 home runs. Not on that.
Good slider from Aaron. Ian Happ at first base. 2 outs, bottom 7. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Well, he's thrown 2 sliders. Chirinos has not had a good pass at either.
I'm thinking you throw another one and you make sure that this one is blocked, the 3rd one. Zach Collins has done a nice job behind the plate today, blocking everything down.
That's a great point. 0 for 3 at the plate, but he's done a great job back there, and he gets him on the slider. So Bummer with a couple of punch outs. A lot of swings and misses today, coaxed by White Sox pitching. 2-0 after 7.
Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule presented by Volkswagen. We got one more here at Wrigley Field, and then it's off to Minneapolis to play the Twins before going to the Field of Dreams game on the 12th. Then the off day on the 13th, the Yankees come back, resume that series, and then we see the Oaklands, a very good baseball team. So things are going to be pretty tough for a while. There's some good baseball on the horizon. Come out to Wrigley. Don't come to Wrigley Field. Come to our ballpark. Come to Guaranteed Rate and see some really solid baseball. And I think the boys are starting to get heated up with this series. I think they realize that there's little tension in this series as Trevor McGill comes in the ballgame on for the 11th time. The ERA is up there. And our guys could use some insurance. It's getting late, and this is a ballpark that yields a lot of runs.
The 8th inning is brought to you by the Illinois Lottery. Tim went 1 for 6 yesterday. The hit came in the 10th that knocked in a run. He's 0 for 3 today. A couple of nice defensive plays on the infield in the 3rd and the 5th to get him. May you indulge me in a little shameless plug?
Of course.
You and Jason will be off tomorrow, on Wednesday, and then on Thursday due to national television and a YouTube game. Darren Jackson and I will have the call on White Sox radio, so we would love for people to tune in.
We would invite you to tune into the ball game.
Thank you. Not a requirement, it's just want to throw it out there.
Also, we saw McGill yesterday pitched 2/3 of an inning, gave up a run on a hit. He fanned a couple.
1-1 on Tim. Here it comes. He fouls to the backstop. 1-2. 40,077. The paid attendance on this Saturday. '99 and off the outside corner.
McGill's got a big fastball. We saw that yesterday. That's not his problem.
Full count. Hernandez waits in the on-deck circle. It's going to be Craig Kimbrell in the bottom of this inning.
I like the fact you go right back to him after a really tough day yesterday.
And as you theorized earlier, and I would agree, Liam Hendricks should be available. In fact, we know he is, because if he weren't available, Craig Kimbrell would get the 9th today. Got him on a fastball for the first out. Time now for a message for Powering Chicago.
Do you have electrical work you need done at your home or business? Visit poweringchicago.com and click the Find a Contractor button. On time, on budget, done the right way every time. Powering Chicago, IBEW Local 134, NECA, Chicago.
Fly ball out into deep left center. Wisdom at the track. It's gone. A home run. 3-0. 2 days, 2 homers for Cesar.
A milestone home run because it's his 20th of the year, giving him 50 driven in. His second in a Sox uniform, and now a 3-run lead. Ford home run replay. This is a breaking ball down, and he goes the opposite way. And not wind aided this time because there is no wind. This one just keeps on going.
Yep, that's a nice milestone. The first 20 homer season of his big league career at age 31. First 18 came with Cleveland.
And 2 hits again today. And what an addition he has been to this lineup.
Man, has he ever. Homered right-handed yesterday, from the left side today. And as is typical, the home run hitter goes right to the hitting coach.
See what I did? See what I did there? Yeah.
Abreu, towering fly, and this one will also get out. They go back to back. It's 4-0. He didn't like being tied at 20 homers on the year.
See, that's not good, because I was about just to say that. He looked at Hernandez's 20 and says, I'm going to raise you one. Ford home run replay, a towering fly ball that just kept on going. Things are starting to heat up for Jose. And this is a 4-run lead.
Tommy Hotovy will make a visit. They've got Rex Brothers, a lefty, up. See, we've worked together a week. I'm starting to think the way you think.
Get
so
the
that's
rhythm.
why
Yeah,
I stole your thunder.
Terribly dangerous.
So he's 2 from 3rd on the Sox career list, behind the Hall of Famer Harold Baines. And he's knocked in 8 over his last 8 games.
Something came out on the field, and that's why Contreras was pointing down the left field line. So now it's removed, and we'll get back to baseball.
Fastball is high. 32 career games against the Cubs. Jose has homered 11 times. 6 last year in the 3-game series here. Roy gets under one. Ortega has it. Moncada still with the big blow, though, in this game. That was a 2-run double. Gave Rodon an early lead. Carlos was brilliant through 5+. Bullpen's been good. Fly to left, medium depth, Wisdom camping. He will make the catch, and they go back to back. First it was Hernandez on the breaking ball, and then Abreu. 4-0 in the 8th. 14 strikeouts through 7 innings for White Sox pitching. Doing the quick math, that's an average of 2 per inning. Rodon had 11 through his 5. Kopech and Bummer. Boy, Aaron Bummer's slider today, absolutely electric. And now you bring on a guy named Craig Kimbrell, who strikes out people in bunches. And you see the Cubs swing and miss quite a bit. Well over 1,000 times. And here's Kimbrell.
He's on for the 43rd time. 23 for 26 in save opportunities. This isn't one of those. But ERA of 1.14. A tough day yesterday, and it's good when you have a tough day at the back end of a bullpen to come right back out and go get them. And I'm sure that this has happened a number of times. So we expect some good things from him as he heads to the top of this Chicago Cub order.
Adam Engel in center. Leori goes over to left. Jimenez done for the afternoon. Ortega's got an 8-game hit streak on the line. That has tied his career high. He's 0 for 2 with a walk today. Foul chop. 1-1.
Tomorrow night it's going to be Dylan Cease and Zach Davies in the finale. I recommend you listen to Len Kasper and DJ. They take you through what we hope will be a good, solid baseball game for our Sox.
And another guy facing his former organization.
Little added incentive when you face a team that traded you away. And that's what Dylan Cease will be doing.
And Zach Davies, he works a lot like Kyle Hendricks. Doesn't throw particularly hard. He has a good changeup. We saw him pinch hit yesterday in the 10th. With that high call, it's 2-2.
Kimbrell's getting under a lot of those fastballs. When you get under the fastball, it's got to stay up.
The payoff. High drive out into center. Engel on the track. Little leap. He's got it. No panic. He got to the wall, made the play. Let's check in with the studio. It's a post-game live preview presented by Subaru. Chuck, take it away. We got you. Outside on Contreras. Three at bats, 3 Ks. Third pitcher faced today. Yanks beat the Mariners, comeback fashion, 5-4. Odor and Judge homered. Kyle Seager hit his 24th for the Mariners. Swing and a miss on the curve. Contreras used to put down digits for Kimbrel, so he kind of knows how he works. First of a doubleheader, Jays blanked the Red Sox 1-0 on a Marcus Semien home run. That was a 7-inning game.
That's a big series as Toronto tries to climb back into it. Boston has been falling. Tampa Bay has been pretty hot. And the Yankees now won 6 in a row, with Toronto also winning 6 in a row.
Rays are in Baltimore tonight. Here it's 4-0 Sox, bottom 8. Tony looks on. David Bodie next. 3-2 on Wilson Contreras.
If Craig has enough confidence in a breaking ball, he'll strike him out with one of those.
Well, went with the heat. That worked.
Still struck him out.
Yep.
That's a 4-bagger for Contreras, and that is a very long afternoon. 4 strikeouts swinging, and that was on the outside corner.
I count 3 half innings all by the Sox without a strikeout. There's been a strikeout in every other half inning today. So that would be 16 total. 13 of the 16 have included a strikeout. That is 2021 Major League Baseball.
That's it. You're going to walk, you're going to strike out, you're going to hit a home run. Occasionally you make a mistake and hit a single or double. But the intention is not for that most of the time. But Len, I'm going to tell you, we're going to see a swing back the other way.
It feels like it's starting to slowly but surely.
No, we're going to, because baseball is cyclical and it's a back to the future game. Things that were old will become new. The way it used to be played, which was abandoned for a bit, will come back and be a couple of teams' mainstays. They will specialize in that, and one of them will win, and it's going to change everything.
1-2 on Bodie. Sox are 1 strikeout away from tying their season high, as I think Lance Lynn talking about 2-seam grips, maybe the 1-seam grip. Dylan Cease and company. Swing and a miss. There it is, 16 Ks for the Sox, tying a season high. Kimbrel looks sharp after getting behind in the count early. And we go to the 9th. It's 4-0. Let's get caught up. Presented by Bob LaCourcio Auto Group and Yohan Moncada. 2-run double. And he had been slumping of late. That's a huge hit. You love those first inning leads. Carlos Rodon was brilliant. Hernandez and then Abreu back to back to add some insurance. In the top of the 8th. And Rodon, as good as we've seen him all year, and that is saying something considering just how great the All-Star has been. 11 strikeouts and 5+. Earned run average sits at 2.38, and here's veteran left-hander Rex Brothers against Brian Goodwin to start the 9th. 1 for 3 on the day for Goodwin. And he takes a fastball on the outside corner. Oh, and 2. The 9th inning is brought to you by Guaranteed Rate. Brother's a Tennessee native. Slider misses, blown away.
It would be nice for Brian to show that he can hit the occasional left-hander, so maybe he gets a little more play.
Brian's from Rocky Mount, North Carolina. Gatorade Player of the Year in that state as a high school senior. Played at UNC and then Miami-Dade, as we mentioned earlier. He has worked a 3-2 count after an 0-2 start. Got him as Field and Culbreth gave Brothers a little extra off that corner.
Yeah, I think Brian is looking at that going, well, I don't know. Got no chance on that.
Sox fans, join us as the Sox take on the Yankees Saturday, August 14th, 1 week from tonight, 6:10 p.m. First 20,000 fans get this beautiful throwback 1919 White Sox jersey presented by Xfinity, the fastest internet in Chicago. To purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/promos. Garcia 1 for 3, double and a stolen base. Slider is wide. Looks like Leori's got a little tear in his pants on a slide. Diving stop, Romine. The throw is in time.
But for a guy who's been around a long time and normally doesn't have great range at shortstop, he's had a wonderful go of it defensively. This is a terrific play. Moves quickly to his left. Gets up as quickly as he can and gets it across, an eyelash ahead of Leori. That was highway robbery.
It was a big league play for sure. Collins with 2 outs. Ryan Tepera is up for the Sox. So for now, it'll be the ex-Cub, not Hendricks, with a 4-run lead.
I think Tony figures if he can get out of this one without using Hendricks, he'll have him fresh and ready to go for tomorrow.
One and 2. Starters are the pitchers of record, Rodon and Alzolay. Both were very good. Rodon was better.
I thought Alzolay looked really good. You're talking about a young pitcher just learning his trade in a very intense series, which it is when these teams are playing one another, and he showed very well today. The stuff was good.
line, but he hit it right at Bodie. Bad luck for Zach. Bottom 9. 3 outs to get with a 4-run lead. Bottom of the 9th, it is Ryan Tepera. So facing the team that recently traded him.
On for the 48th time. I'm being plagued by Boog Shambi, who's to my right. He is incensed for some reason.
Oh, we're having fun up here in the press box.
Yes, a very friendly rivalry between the crews. ERA below 3, and for Ryan Tepera, this is a situation where he feels like he's got to come in and just do really well against the team that recently traded him. I mean, it's just human nature. You want to give him your best.
I believe it was Joe Grube who said yesterday there are a lot of pitcher wins here in the press box, with Steve Stone, Rick Sutcliffe, and Jim Deshaies all sitting within about 20 feet. Ball 1 low to Wisdom.
Rick Sutcliffe was some pitcher for the Cubs.
Well, you and I combined for 107 major league wins.
That's indeed we did.
There's Rick Sutcliffe.
I think the big man had more than that. Jimmy Deshaies was a very good pitcher.
He had that invisible, and he's got some great glasses. Look at that. Two and one on Wisdom. Not a safe spot, but it sure feels like it, I'm sure, for Ryan Tepera, pitching in front of 40,000 against his former team, trying to get these last 3 outs. 2-2.
That got a piece of Zach Collins right off the throwing hand. We'll take another look. It's a good slider. Ow. Unfortunately, it got the shin guard and the hand. That's not a lot of fun.
Fly ball to left, and it's Garcia for out number 1. Test your luck in the Queen of Hearts raffle benefiting White Sox charities. In addition to weekly prizes, one lucky fan will win 50% of the total progressive jackpot. It's now over $240,000. To purchase Queen of Hearts raffle tickets, visit whitesox.com/Queen of Hearts.
That'd make it a pretty good day if you could take 50% of that home with you.
For sure. Ball 1 on Schwindel. He pops it up. Tim at short. 2 gone. 9th inning. It brings up Duffy. Another chance to get a double-digit lead in the division. Tigers at Cleveland. They start in about an hour and a half. Right now the lead 9.5. The win would give the Sox a shot at a series sweep tomorrow. And back to 20 games over 500. Toward the middle, base hit, just gets through. So Happ 1 for 3. Got a story idea for an enterprising baseball writer. Maybe could poll big league position players about making the final out of a game. I'm curious to know what they would say. You'd think that most guys would say absolutely loathe it. Some may say it's just another out. Doesn't matter. They're always trying to get on base, but I would think most guys hate making the last out of a game.
Then the book is done.
That's it.
You've just given the two
options.
options.
I don't know. It's not a leading question. I would be curious what guys would generally think or say. Duffy will make second. I suppose it depends on the game situation, right? Bases loaded, down 1,
again,
ninth inning. That's the one you don't want to make.
Yeah, it's a 13-run game. I mean, you're making the last out. You're thinking about getting home, making dinner plans, doing whatever. But if your team has come back to within 1 run, you got runners in scoring position, then you make the last out, that would tend to chap you. And Liam Hendricks is loosening up just in case.
They talk it over here. 1-1 on Happ. Pulled foul.
I think he broke his bat.
Would a big league player ever admit to being nervous on deck and somewhat relieved when the guy ahead of him makes the last out? Can't imagine they would.
Nope, never.
They all want to be the hero.
There's 2 sounds a pitcher knows definitively. 2 sounds during a baseball game. One is a cracked bat, because you like to do that. The other is a home run. You don't really have to look. You can tell by the sound that that one is not coming back.
One and two. Duffy's run doesn't matter other than breaking the shutout. 3-2. It's trite for us to say you can't walk him, but you can.
No, I think if he does, I think Liam Hendricks is coming in this game.
Ryan knows the math. So Happ, I'm sure expecting he'll get something to hit on 3-2. Here it comes. Swing and a miss, and the White Sox shut out the Cubs. A combined 5-hitter with 17 strikeouts, a season best.
And what we saw today was a very well-played baseball game. And we saw what this bullpen can look like at the back end. Now, missing Hendricks, you saw Kopech, Bummer, Kimbrel, then Tepera just slam the door. Lots of strikeouts, very weak contact, and the boys did quite a job taking the first 2 of the series. So we will see you down the road a bit. Not tomorrow. Listen on radio to you and DJ, and then we'll pick you up on Thursday.
That sounds great. You were a great host, as was the entire crew. Chris Withers, Dave Turner, Chris Kampka, Joe Groob. Thank you for watching. Final score, White Sox 4, Cubs nothing. Now to our studios. Chuck, Frank, and Ozzie have it the rest of the way.